Hey guys, I'm Mike Seve. I'm from, wow, loud, Baboon Animation. We are a children's media company. We develop cartoons. We make cartoons, we write cartoons, we speak to kids. That's our corner of the arts, not the fine arts, the not fine arts, and in general, kids media. So now the amazing Amy Goodman, who, the one-woman riot, as appearing in Vogue, she gave such a great speech about media and the power of media. The thing that has been hard to connect for anybody I mention this to, including people in my own industry, children's media, is the power of children's media. Even when I told Amy about what I've been doing with this thing, and I was watching the things try to connect in her head about what kids media has to do with social relevance and social power. I have to admit, it took me a little while to understand it and build the connection. Specifically, what I'm talking about is the climate emergency. I'm not even calling it the climate crisis anymore. I don't think it's strong enough. The best term I've ever heard is climate emergency. This is an emergency. So like a lot of people, I've been laying in bed feeling completely powerless, right? And then I'd go off and make cartoons that reached millions of kids globally among my team. This is what we do. And then one day I said, holy shit, wait a minute. Who is leading as much as anybody, arguably more than anybody, climate action right now? Kids. Kids. Who do I work for every day to communicate to every day? Kids. So I'm like, duh, right? So that's the first step in understanding it. It's like, there's got to be something here, right? Fact is, I didn't know what. But there wasn't a colleague, no one's really right-wing in cartoons, we're not a really, red tribe. So nobody I talked to disagreed with this, but none of us knew what to do, right? So in terms of social dialogue, we started it. We just started trying to figure it out together. The important thing is we knew there was an amazing power there, but we also know what the obstacles are there. This is the way it is in children's media. In the same way that Amy was talking about, the executives are not gonna greenlight that many minutes of climate content if they don't think the demand is there. So this is what my training is finding demand. We call it kid demand, right? This is the unicorn. This is the elusive thing that we all want, right? So then, so you've got that, you've got the problem of kid demand. We can't make it. What we do is expensive, right? And we're filling up airwaves that must bring in a lot of money. It must be economically viable. It must be demand driven, right? So I'm going to go out there with a climate message and depress the world, depress kids. How is that going to work? That's not going to work. That's exactly what kids are not demanding. No one is demanding to be depressed. Nobody. So we had a dilemma, and I know that because, look, the people, and I know that was going to be a problem, because the people above me, the gatekeepers, the green lighters, the vice presidents and presidents of development of the major networks, I can sit with them. I can get meetings with them. We've built our company status over many years, and I know I have the relationships. But if I want to get a door slammed immediately, talk about something depressing, or talk about an eat your broccoli show, that's what we call it in the industry, the eat your broccoli shows, right? Where you're telling kids to eat their broccoli because it's good for them. We don't work that way. Nothing in our industry works that way. Even PBS. If anyone here has kids, they watch those shows. Those are engineered to appeal to kids first, right? Kids, the way the process works, you build a show that kids fall in love with, and they fall in love with those cartoon characters. They love those cartoon characters, and you use that to piggyback a message onto, right? And even that, and even that only works for, and that's PBS. So PBS is trying to do public messaging, public education, math, science, social, emotional learning, things like that. Everybody else is not, and PBS is a small segment of the globe, of the amount of cartoons that are produced. But we didn't stop thinking about this, and we realized one thing. Okay, first of all, I needed to convince people, and if I was going to be able to develop a show, I was going to need to convince people that there would be a demand for the show, right? I needed first to convince them that kids are interested in climate. So and by the way, I'd been avoiding the topic with my own daughter for her entire life, right? She's 8. I was like, I'm not going to tell her about this. How am I going to tell her about this, about climate emergency? Who wants to be born into that? Nobody, right? Nobody. So I'm like, avoid, 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 right? So if I'm feeling that way, of course, a network is going to feel that way, right? It's part of the same dilemma. Luckily, Greta, yay, Greta. She shows up. She starts speaking up. She gets other kids engaged in it. She gave my teacher just something to talk about. She gave my teacher some way to tell the kids, look, there's a problem right now. There's kids that are helping make a difference about it. We're going to make a difference. We're going to march this Friday. And my daughter came back and said, guess what, Mom and Dad? There's a climate problem. And we're like, oh, really? Tell us more, right? And she's like, yeah, so this is the story. And she gave us the basic facts, tipping point in 12 years, which luckily to her is a long way away. But, I mean, it was really like to the point. That changed everything for our goal with our little climate group. It changed everything. And why it changed it, it said, the cat is out of the bag. We do not have to be the bearers of bad news. We do not have to be the messenger you want to shoot, or even worse, turn off, right? We don't have to be that, because everybody knows. 2.1 kids marched in protest of adult inaction on climate in April, globally. 2.1 million kids, right? Then, and simultaneously, adult media has been, if you look at the chart, there is hope. It's not a lot of minutes, but CNN went from 6 minutes talking about climate last year to 7 hours talking about it this year. Was it a ratings monster for them? No, but they did it. And New York Times media coverage, number of column inches going way up, Washington Post way up. I know those are the enemy of America, those two papers. But media is catching on. Media is catching on, but kids' media is nowhere, right? Climate's changing fast. Kids are changing fast. The news is out, and my industry doesn't even know that they have a place in this, right? So come this September, the next climate march, 6.7 million kids marched. Now we have a trend. Now I can say, look, from 18 months prior to April, 1 kid, to 2.1 million kids, to 6.7 million kids. That is a trend. That is, and kids demanding action, that's kid demand. So that's the case I'm making now in the industry. Our group bought Advertising and Animation magazine to start promote it as a result of being a good friend to Animation Magazine, which is one of the major industry publications. They agreed to give us a climate article. So now we have a platform, right? Every issue, we can do an editorial about climate, speaking directly to the industry. Now, what do we do about this? We then figure out the next step. And part of what I'm getting at here is you don't know what you're doing till you figure it out. And you don't know how to figure it out. And you're not going to figure it out until you decide to figure it out. What happened with me was I felt completely powerless. And I started to say, I think there's something here. I started to talk to other people, community together, bouncing ideas off. Eventually, we came up with several really good ideas that I think are going to potentially get us somewhere. So, and now, by the way, two more things. Once we establish that there's demand for kids, then we need to engage kids in a way that they want to hear. Remember, if you want to engage people, give them something they want, right? Kids want to know what they can do, but they also want to feel hope. They also want to feel that there's a possibility for heroism here. When kids watch our shows, they're looking for positivity, happy endings, all the Hollywood stuff, right? Heroes, and they're looking for humor. And this is the other thing that we learned. Everybody is fucking serious about the climate because it's a serious thing, but we're not giving them the serious stuff. We're giving them the solution and doing it with a big sense of humor. So now we have a team that's engineering shows that are all exactly speaking to kids' demand, and the community is growing of people who want to participate in making these things. And it's because we're listening to the people we're trying to speak to, and that's a form of community, and that's what we're trying to do here, so thank you. If anyone wants to speak about this, first of all, check out someone who's done it well. Little Dicky, I think it's L-I'-L, he's a rapper, and he made a great video about climate that is freaking funny, right? If you think it can't be done, that's a great one to check. And if anyone wants to contact me and talk about this, Mike at baboonanimation.com, and thank you very much.